Mortal Sin is a first-person roguelike. For the most part, you will use melee combat to bathe the floors in the blood of whatever the heck these things are, these blue enemies. At this point in development, there isn't much story to speak of. So in a game without story, the combat is the focus, and it's good. There's a diverse amount of weapons, and you have pretty good movement abilities, which is unique for a first-person game. It feels great to hack your way through a room. You'll also have to dodge traps, and a lot of traps. It's not a joke. This is a wildly dangerous place. Note that Mortal Sin is not released yet, and I am playing what is available. And what's here is great and a lot of fun. If you like what you see, then I recommend wishlisting the game on Steam, since that actually helps them get discovered. Anyway, right now there are 2 levels to play: the dungeon and the caves. What you're seeing right now is the dungeon. Don't worry, they're both very similar. You're not missing much. It's sort of maze-like and filled with enemies and traps. You have to find buttons to unlock doors that will take you deeper into the level. As I said, there are plenty of things to try and kill you. It definitely pays off to take it a little slow so you don't get a wall spear up your butt. Also, the levels keep me on edge. They are meant to produce anxiety, and it works really well for me. I feel distressed turning a corner or entering a new room. I want to peek around and make sure nothing there is going to kill me. Although it helps that the enemies are dumb, so when you do peek around a corner, it draws them out and around, and you can kind of just throw your sword at them as they turn the corner before they get a chance to take a shot at you. But explaining this all with words in this video is a lot easier to say than complete. I ended up taking damage all the time. The game has a way of being creepy and surprising you with enemies. It can get a little chaotic. The levels are procedurally generated, and yeah, they definitely feel like it. I can appreciate the goal to keep everything interesting, since you'll be replaying every level over and over again, but they do end up feeling a little odd, with traps in strange places and a confusing layout. Maybe I'm a little spoiled from other games that have only partially procedurally generated levels. Well, that's a slight dig at the game. What is important here is that the combat is where the game really shines, because you're going to be doing a lot of it. With fast-swinging swords, axes, cleavers, magical staves, halberds, giant-ass slow-swinging swords, and I think I left some out. Doesn't matter, they're all fun to use, and while I think the behemoth swords are my favorite, I would swap it out in a heartbeat for something that I thought would work better. You have other abilities besides wildly swinging your sword around. You can kick enemies. This is useful for getting them away from you or pushing them into traps. You can sprint forward and bash enemies. Both of these can be combined with attack to create a sort of combo move. Then you can block attacks, which of course is very useful for staying alive. But when you block, it sends a small shockwave that interrupts other enemies around you. And even better, block works from all directions, even behind. Although I don't know how you would realize an enemy was about to hit you from behind without looking that way, but it's nice that it works. Although you should focus on dismembering enemies, chopping off their arms, legs, and watching them crawl towards you. Much easier to deal with. There's nothing easier than taking out an enemy with their head missing. The developer thought of this, and you still have to be careful because the enemy will randomly attack and still try and get you. If you chop off enough limbs, the enemy dies, although you can just attack the torso and take them out. You might not want to do that for weapon durability, I'll get to that, but first I want to say I believe the key to Mortal Sin is blocking, actually. It's easier to get caught up swinging at every enemy you come across, but blocking is extremely powerful. Anything you can do to get the enemies staggered so you can then go nuts swinging at them. Okay, so about that weapon durability. It's kind of an awkward mechanic. It's a good idea to push the player to always be grabbing new equipment, and maybe I'm the problem because I switch equipment so much, but this was never an issue. Either I had something to reduce the durability loss, or I never took equipment that would lose durability with its ability. Oh yeah, some of the equipment does that. For example, you can find boots that will let you kick a fireball at enemies, but the cost is the durability of the item. It's interesting, but I never thought it was worth it, and I was always too concerned about the durability, of course. But if you want to protect your gear and your health, then you'll want to use potions. I think the easiest to understand are health potions because using one makes your health go up, yeah. But the Blue Wizard oil replenishes the durability on all your weapons and equipment. It's a bit odd to think about you vigorously rubbing your equipment with oil, but I can see how a nice coating of oil might refresh, polish, and protect them for the future. Anyway, to get the potions, you collect blue and red swirling bits called essence, and if you collect enough, you get a potion. There are icons on the bottom of the screen that fill up to indicate when you'll get a potion. A fairly good system that gives you more potions the deeper you get in a run. More kills is more essence, and you can collect some for completing levels. It beats random drops. There is one more essence that drops, and it's yellow for gold. Okay, I don't actually know if it means gold, but it's a currency. In the top left-hand corner, you can see how much I have. You use it to open boxes that drop during the run for random pieces of equipment. At the time of this video, I always had plenty to open up every box I saw. However, I wonder if this might change later to force you to make tough decisions. But then again, it's also used if you make it back to the starting area. After 5 levels inside the dungeon, the game tosses you back to the beginning, where you can craft new weapons, buy potions, but only if you unlock that by progressing deeper into both stages. Which leads nicely to the part of this video where we talk about the game's progression system. Mortal Sin unlocks new weapons and abilities instead of steadily making your character more powerful. What I find interesting is that you don't have to play the levels in order. If you get stuck in one, you can try something different. But I do worry if you can start in any area that they'll all be the same difficulty, which could be annoying after a few runs. Overall, I'm pretty excited about Mortal Sin. I recommend adding it to your Steam wish list to support them and keeping an eye out for its release. I might do a video on the release. We'll see if I'm told when it's going to happen. There's no release date yet, but I will make a video if I have the time, ability, and knowledge to do so. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe so you can get notified if I do make another Mortal Sin video, or consider following my Steam curator. Link is in the description. Bye.